People's attention span lately is shorter than a TikTok video. If you can't hold it, you've lost them. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 practical ways to keep people locked in from start to finish. I remember my first big presentation in the university. I had prepared like crazy. Slides, notes, everything. But halfway through, I noticed something. People were yawning, some were found checking their phones, and others playing with their neighbors. I was losing them, and this was really crushing me, honestly. That's when I realized that it's not enough to speak, you have to hold the attention. So I studied how great speakers do it, and this is what I discovered. The first key thing is shift your energy. I noticed that throughout my presentation, I was being very monotonous, using the same tone and volume throughout. And that was one of the reasons why the audience were disengaged with my message. So instead of using the same tone and volume throughout, change the energy by saying something like this. This idea will change everything. Here's why. See how that small shift pulls you back in? It puts some level of seriousness and importance on the message. Energy shifts through volume, pace, or even expression. This resets the attention of your audience instantly. But energy alone is not enough. People also connect with something deeper. The second key is make it interactive. Here's what I mean by interactive. It's about involving your audience into your performance or your presentation. Ask questions, say things that pulls them in, things that make them feel alive and feel a part of what you're doing. You can ask questions like, have you ever felt this way? Or, show by hands, who've been there? It's make the audience feel involved and a part of what you're doing on the stage. Even if it's a video, when a question is asked, like I did right now, it pulls you into the video, drawing your attention to what I'm talking about. In that case, your brain automatically shifts to search subconsciously for an answer. And that's the power of engagement. It turns passive listeners into active listeners. But there's one more, and this makes you unforgettable. The third key is use micro stories. Many people like to say the generic terms like always prepare. This feels so vague that people cannot find themselves in. They need things that they can find themselves in, that they can follow. Which is why, instead of telling them generic things like prepare, do the things that shows preparation. They're able to get it a lot more better. For example, instead of saying always prepare, you can say, last week, I walked to a meeting without preparation, and it was an absolute disaster. This little story draws people's attention to the fact that they need to prepare rather than being straight with always prepare. Why does this work? It works because the human brain has been wired to follow stories. Stories trigger our emotions and it gets our attention locked in. So when you combine energy shift, being interactive, and micro stories together, you don't just speak, you captivate your audience. So let's recap quickly. Shift your energy, make it interactive, and use micro stories or tell micro stories. When you apply these 3, people won't just hear you, but they'll keep engaged to you. Imagine presenting in a class or at work or maybe in a casual conversation and people lean in to listen. They want more of what you're saying. That, my friend, I say, is power. Now, I'd love to know which one you would like to try first: energy, interaction, or storytelling. Kindly drop it in the comment section. I'd love to check it out. By the way, if you have issues with stage fright, in the next video, I'll share with you how to overcome stage fright so that you can apply these techniques in full confidence. See you there.